Well, so before we before we proceed, now that we are very few, I think it could be wise maybe we can know each other before we can continue. So I can see some few people. Maybe you can say your name, what you do, and maybe where you are. Cyrus, I start with you.
Okay, good evening. My name is Cyrus Machogu. I'm a graduate of physics and I live in Bungoma.
Great, great. Thank you, Cyrus. Cyrus says he's a graduate of physics and lives in Bungoma. All right. Emmanuel, to you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Kipchumba Emmanuel. I'm a student at Egerton University, taking economics and statistics. A fourth year student. Thank you.
Oh, nice, nice, great, great. Thank you, Iman.
Yes. Hi everyone. My
Hi.
name is Iman. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I'm doing more of research and interested in doing biostatistics. I'm in Mombasa.
Great, wonderful. Thank you, Iman. So at least now we know each other. So as the visitors will be joining us, you'll be asking them whom they are. Now, welcome to Building Future Minds. I believe that from the orientation session, we now all have an overview of what Building Future Minds is, whom Building Future Minds is, and all that we do. So, straight away, we move on to our business of the day. So first of all, we are going to go through a preview of what we will do. And in this data analytics course, just like I have said, we are going to use um, three softwares. You're going to learn about three softwares. That is the first one, Microsoft Excel. You will learn about um, the statistical package for social sciences, known as SPSS, and you will also learn about Stata. So all these are data analytics tools. All these are data analysis tools. The very first one that we will start with is Microsoft Excel. And what you're going to learn is something called advanced Excel. It's not just the basics of Excel, but rather advanced one. So let me share my screen in a minute. Right. Confirm that you can see my screen. Confirm that you are able to see my screen. Let me just increase the zoom.
Yes, we can.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Now, um, data analytics is, in fact, to date, I don't say that it is one of the emerging trends, but rather I say that it is one of the skills that is already in demand, and you need to have those particular skills. For those who are available in our orientation session, we said that data analytics is a skill that applies in each and every department. And I am glad that in this session here, at least we are mixed up. We have people from the medical department. We have people from, is it teaching, education department. And we also have economics and statistics department people joining us in this particular meeting. And therefore, I think that's some good mix-up that we have in the meeting. And that shows you how widely data analytics is applied in the job market. So if you are a student like I think Cyrus, who is still a student, and maybe you are looking into boosting your chances of securing a job, or maybe looking to revamp your CV, then I think that taking a data analytics course is a good step for you. Now, let's get straight into Microsoft Excel. So what are we going to learn in Microsoft Excel? What will we learn in Microsoft Excel? Remember, this is going to be a step-by-step course as we proceed. We are going to move from a very, very basic level to more advanced level as we proceed. So whether you have ever done Microsoft Excel, whether you have ever used Microsoft Excel, whether you've used SPSS, you have got knowledge in data analytics, that doesn't matter for this particular class. But rather what we are going to do is that we are going to take you from the very basics of this data analytics as we proceed further to more advanced levels. So when we start from here, just a minute, I sort out something. Just all right, let's proceed. Sorry for the interruption. Now in Microsoft Excel, we will cover the following concepts. In Microsoft Excel, we'll cover the concept of data modeling, and in data modeling, we look at some quick data entry and handy tips, and we'll be able to look at all these contexts. I cannot read all of them here, sorry. So I will just be taking you through very fast. We look at the concept of formatting and printing, where we look at the concepts of worksheet formatting, conditional formatting, and then we move on to advanced conditional formatting, how you can be able to customize your page for printout. So you've done your analysis and you have your report. Maybe you have got some data on your Excel spreadsheet, and you need to print it so that you have a hard copy of it. So how do you design your Excel page? These are one of the areas that majority of students have got a challenge when it comes to printing a document from Microsoft Excel. You end up wasting your papers, you end up wasting your resources and all that. So how can you customize your Excel workbook before you formally print it? Viewing, of course, this is an easier one, but also quite tricky. We look at how you view your Excel spreadsheet, how you can split your windows using multiple windows of the same workbook, using what we call a watch window and Excel camera and all that. We look at functions and formulas, basics, as we proceed to the advanced levels. We'll also be able to look at tables and working with objects. From there, we'll proceed further to level 2, where we look at data analysis. And the first step that we'll check out is our templates, where we'll be able to look at all these features here. Of course, I will share with you this booklet, so don't worry about it. We look at data tools. And when I talk about data tools, I am talking about features like use of text to columns to split and clean up data, checking and removing duplicates, data consolidation from different worksheets, how you can manage your data model, and finally grouping data. So basically, if you look at these data tools, what we are going to look at mostly under data tools is how you manage your data set. When you have got some things like duplicates, it basically talks about data cleaning. So when you have duplicates, how do you deal with duplicates? When maybe you want to clean up your data, how should you perform that particular process? How do you convert maybe text that is in a single column? You are able to convert them into multiple columns. How do you deal with that? All right. How do you check for errors? And all that information, you will be able to look at it under data tools. Protection and data security, right? And then we'll move further to what? Data visualization and dashboards. We will move further to data visualization and dashboards. We will look at the concept of Power Query, Power Maps, and Power Pivot. These are new feature, but not so new. Only that probably you don't have maybe the knowledge, or you don't have the awareness, you don't have the information that such functionalities exist in Excel. Power Query is a very, very powerful tool. Especially when you want to extract data from other sources, when you are bringing that data into Microsoft Excel. Did you know that if you have data in a PDF format, then you need not to start typing that data manually in Excel? But within 30 seconds or less, you can use Power Query to extract that data from PDF and bring it onto Excel. Just like I said at first from the onset, when we were handling the orientation, it is very bad to cry when you don't know. So please don't cry. We'll be looking at all these. Excel collaboration with other applications. How can you link your Excel workbooks or your Excel application with other Microsoft Office applications? These Microsoft Office applications that I'm talking about, I am talking about Word, I'm talking about PowerPoint. Sometimes you have done your data analytics in Microsoft Excel. You have clearly generated a very, very, very nice report. And now what do you want to do? You want to present this to the board. You are now in an AGM, or you are in your weekly brief meetings, and you want to share your report of your analytics that you have done to your board. How do you do that? Of course, we all know PowerPoint is the best presentation tool that you're supposed to use. But sometimes if it's an Excel work, then PowerPoint may not give you the best presentation as you want, and therefore you may want to make it as lively as possible. So how do you connect PowerPoint with Microsoft Excel? Of course, we look at that. Pivot tables, we look at how you can be able to create pivot tables, pivot charts. Of course, that one now we are talking about visualization, all right? So how do you create pivot tables and pivot charts such that you are able to summarize, I call them so many nonsense, right? So you are able to summarize a lot of nonsense into a single workbook that can now be able to make sense. You may have lots of data sets, like maybe you may have up to 1,000 variables, up to 10,000 variables. Those things are so many, all right? Your boss is not interested in those many variables. So how do you group them, or how do you bring that into a simple report that you can now then present to your boss for their ease of analysis? One of the things that I dare say is that there's a reason that your boss hired you as a data analyst. And therefore, never present a report that is so hard for your boss to analyze or to understand. If you are presenting a pivot table, you are presenting a pivot chart, just present a very simple pivot chart. Of course, when we get to where we'll start looking at pivot charts, we will be able to understand different types of pivot charts that we have. So sometimes, don't seem like maybe you are so technical, just be simple, right? Because you may seem to be technical, but then the day after that, your boss tells you it's been nice working with you, right? So it's not because you didn't know what you are doing, okay? But then it's because you are only trying to outshine your boss. The 47 laws of power goes against that, and therefore you should always observe that. Performing spreadsheet analysis, we'll be able to look at some tools of what-if analysis and Solver. Of course, these ones are mostly for those who are in the field of finance. You will probably understand this. For those who do some things like maybe sensitivity analysis, you will understand what the what-if analysis toolbar talks about. And here we have got some tools like GoalSeek, data tables, scenario manager, and of course Solver. So how do we use these tools, or how shall we be able to apply these tools in our analytics? We will be able to look at all that. From there, we look at the data analysis toolpack in Microsoft Excel. And maybe suppose you didn't know, you can always perform regression analysis. You can perform correlation analysis. You can perform a p-test, a t-test, a z-test, and all that. You can create them in Microsoft Excel. All right. And then maybe we'll be able to look at our forecasting if we'll have time. And then finally, this is a very, very important concept, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to understand. That is the concept of automation with VBA. The concept of automation with VBA. I don't know who've heard about VBA, but this is a very, very powerful tool. Most of the times, or many a times, we struggle with maybe some works that they are so repetitive, right? You do something today, the following month you get the same data, and you need to do the same process again, and you really want to do like maybe more of repetitions about that. So did you know that maybe you can just customize the data set that you have into one, and then you perform your work through automation with VBA. So by just setting a single VBA code, you are able to easily summarize your work and just get rid of a lot of work that you may have to do. And sincerely, I can tell you that VBA is one of the areas that pays me a lot. You know, you get some big data, and then somebody needs you to analyze that. And it's so good when now somebody has hired you to be officially their data analyst, and you know very well that when this person presents you with this report this month, it is the same report format that will come next month, the same report that will come the following month, and they just need the same analysis. Maybe if it's data cleaning, that's the first step that you need to do. You proceed on to summarize your data. So what do you do? In the first month, you will spend quite some time. You will spend quite some time trying to maybe record this particular VBA code. And then once you have recorded this VBA code, it's just a one-time process. So it is better that you spend a lot of hours in this, but in the following time or the next time you want to perform your analysis now, what you will need to do is only to do what? To run a keyboard shortcut or to run your VBA code that you have recorded. Don't cry. We will look at all these. Relax. And that will form what we will be able to cover in Microsoft Excel. That will form our work in Microsoft Excel. All right. So that takes me now to the next step. And now in my next step, I just want to open a Microsoft Excel workbook. I want to open a blank Microsoft Excel workbook. And from here now, I want you to move with me. I want you to move with me. Move with me. Move with me. Move with me from here. So, are we all ready? Let me confirm. Are we all ready? Are we all ready for the next step now?
Yes.
I think I only got 2 confirmations out of the possible 10 that we should have.
Yes.
Great, great. Are we ready? Michelle, are you ready?
Yes.
Great, great, fantastic. Now, let me once again share my screen. Let me share my screen. This time round, I am going to open a blank Excel workbook. So, the guide that I was sharing, the guide that I was presenting my screen, don't worry about that. I'm going to share that with you. I will share that guide with you. Now, this is Microsoft Excel. This is Microsoft Excel. And maybe before we proceed, the display may be different. So if you see what I have from my side is different from what you have from your side, please don't struggle to have what I have from my side from in your computer. The difference may come in, number one, as a result of the Microsoft Office version that you are using. Number two is as a result of maybe your Windows that you are using. And number three, it may be as a result of the different customizations that we have, right? So maybe I have customized my Microsoft Excel to always suit my functionalities. And maybe in your case, as you installed your Office, you have never done any customizations to your Microsoft Excel. So everything that is there is by default. Now, I say that we're going to start from the very, very basics of Microsoft Excel. And at this stage, I pose a question. Who has never used Microsoft Excel before? Who has never used Microsoft Excel before? Don't shy away. Don't shy. Don't shy. Don't shy. In my class, I tend to say that you should be very, very free. You should be very, very free. Great. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you.
I haven't.
Who is this, please? Oh, Iman, right?
Yes.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody? Is there anyone? Great. That's okay. Now, we are going to start by, first of all, trying to understand the Microsoft Excel interface. We are first of all going to understand the Microsoft Excel interface. So, this is the Microsoft Excel interface itself, what I am talking about. So, I believe everyone has opened their Excel. I believe you have opened Excel from your side, and therefore move with me. Now, we start. So the first thing is to understand the Microsoft Excel interface. And ladies and gentlemen, please, I want you to pay attention because there are some terms that we are going to use here that I'm going to make you be aware of as we talk about the Microsoft Excel interface. These terms, we will use them frequently during our analysis. So if I send you to go and click on something and you are not able to click on it, what does that mean? It means that you didn't pay attention when we were actually defining Microsoft Excel interface. Great. Now, let's start. From the very top left of Microsoft Excel interface, from the very top left, is something that we call the Quick Access Toolbar. From the very top left is what we call the Quick Access Toolbar. Now, what is the Quick Access Toolbar and what is it used for? Ladies and gentlemen, the Quick Access Toolbar contains the most frequently used commands in Microsoft Excel. It's basically available to do what? To enhance efficiency and ease when you are using Microsoft Excel, probably for your data analytics or for any other work that you may be using Microsoft Excel for. By default, your Quick Access Toolbar will contain 3 commands. Number 1, the save command. Number 2, the undo command. And number 3, the redo command. By default, your Quick Access Toolbar will contain 3 commands. Number 1, the save command. Number 2 is the undo command. And number 3, redo command. Check from here. This is the Quick Access Toolbar that I'm talking about. I hope you are able to see my cursor. If you are not able, please you let me know. This is the save command that I'm talking about. If you place your cursor here, it displays save. You move on to the next, which is actually this arrow pointing to the left. That is the undo command. And then the arrow pointing to the right is the redo command. Please note that it is not a must that your Quick Access Toolbar stays with those commands that are available. You can always customize these to suit your needs. You can bring in more commands. You can remove commands from your Quick Access Toolbar and any other thing that you may want to do. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Let's finish up this. Just beside the Quick Access Toolbar, to the right, look at my Excel spreadsheet. This space here written, Book 1-Excel, Book 1-Excel. And I know for some of you, you may not have this Book 1-Excel, but what you will have is something like Product Activation Failed. Let me tell you why you have the Product Activation Failed. And especially, if it is Product Activation Failed, perhaps it will be in some red box. The reason why you have that is because you are not using a genuine Microsoft Office Windows license. You are using what we call a cracked Office. So your license is not genuine. That is why it is displaying to you Product Activation Failed. So don't worry when you have that. You could just visit your license provider the following day and then they'll be able to provide you maybe with a genuine license. Now this is the title bar. What does the title bar do? This place here written Book 1 Excel, it displays the name of the current active document. The title bar displays the name of the current active document. I believe that is clear. And then we move down. Below the title bar and the Quick Access Toolbar is what we call tabs. Tabs. And we have got different tabs. The first one is what we call the File tab. We have the Home tab, the Insert tab, Draw, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, View, Developer, which I believe majority of you may not have, the Help tab, the QuickBooks tab, which as well majority of you may not have. Now, these tabs here, ladies and gentlemen, this is like everything. This is like the engine of Microsoft Excel. Anything that you want to do, you will always make reference to your tabs. Each tab is subdivided into what? Into groups. Each tab is subdivided into groups. Don't worry, we'll be seeing the roles of these tabs as we continue with our analysis. For now, I want you to click on your first tab, that is the home tab. Leave alone the file tab first. So click on your home tab. Click on your home tab. Once you click on your home tab, ladies and gentlemen, these are the groups that I am talking about. The first group is the clipboard group. I believe you have clicked on home. These are what we call tabs. File, home, insert, draw, and all that. Those are what we call tabs. So from the home tab, number one, we have the clipboard group, we have the font group, the alignment group, the number group, styles group, cells, and editing. Who is not seeing what I am talking about? The clipboard group, font group, alignment group, number, styles, cells, and editing. Who is not together with me? Who cannot see what I am talking about from your Excel workbook? Who cannot see that? Great. Now, in each group, we have commands. In each group, we have different commands represented by what? By the different ribbons. Now, these signs that you are seeing here, the pictorials that you are seeing here, these are what I refer to as ribbons. So anytime I tell you maybe to click on the cut ribbon, you will come here. If, for instance, you are at the clipboard group, from the home tab, clipboard group, we have got the paste ribbon. We have the cut ribbon represented by the scissor-like icon. We have the copy ribbon, the format painter ribbon. You move to the font group, you are able to do some adjustments to your document by maybe changing the font type, changing the font size, maybe making it bold, italics, underline. Maybe if you want to insert some border, changing your font color, maybe changing your fill color and all that. You want to increase maybe the font size, decrease the font size and all that. One thing that you will notice about Microsoft Excel is that unlike other Microsoft Office applications like maybe Word and PowerPoint, one thing that you will notice about Excel is that you cannot be able to change your font style from where? From Microsoft Excel. And when I talk about font style, what I am referring to is maybe capitalizing your letters, maybe using the sentence case, using maybe the lowercase letters and all that. You cannot do that. You realize that there is no functionality or ribbon that allows you to do that. So what are you supposed to do if you are to do that? Don't worry, I will show you that as we proceed with our analysis. We will look at all these. I cannot be able to go through all these ribbons for now. If you move to your insert tab, you go and click on your insert tab, go and click on your insert tab, go and click on your insert tab, and from the insert tab, you are able to see the different functionalities that are available here that you can be able to do. Here you can be able to insert a pivot table, recommended pivot tables, you've got tables, you can insert shapes, and all those functionalities that you can do. You can use what we call slicers. I will show you we will see the use of slicers once we get to visualizations. Those are what we call as what? Those are what we call as tabs. And just like I have said, each tab is subdivided into groups, with each group having different functionalities. We cannot master all these for now. Don't worry. We will look at them, and step by step as you move, you will get to have the mastery of these concepts that we are talking about. You can also customize your tabs just the same way you can be able to customize your quick access toolbar. You can also customize your tabs. I will show you how. Now, below that, below your tabs, below your tabs, below your tabs, below your tabs, below your groups, right? Below your groups. To the left, you can see this box here. In my case, it's written A1. Look at this small box here. In my case here, written A1. I don't know what is in your case. I don't know what is in your Excel spreadsheet. But basically that box, we call it as the what? We call it as the name box. We call it the name box. We call it the name box. We call it the name box. And what does the name box do? The name box displays the name of the current active cell. The name box displays the name of the current active cell. Later on, I will show you how to name cells in Excel. But right now, our current active cell is cell A1, and that is what is displaying here. Suppose I move and click on another cell. This is cell G5, and that is what displays now in my name box. Beside the name box is what we call the function bar or the function box. Beside the name box is what we call the function bar or the function box. I believe you are able to see that box that has an X, tick, and FX. Now, what is the name of the function bar? From the function box here, ladies and gentlemen, you can be able to insert functions in Microsoft Excel. If you want to use a function in Microsoft Excel, you can simply come to your function box here, click on the FX, and then Excel will enable you to choose the specific function that you want to use in Microsoft Excel. We will look at that later. And then, of course, beside that, beside the name box is now what we call as the what? The formula bar. Beside the name box is what we call the formula bar. These large, I don't know if these are rectangle or a square, whatever it is, this large space that you have here, this is what we are calling as the formula bar. What is the function of the formula bar? The formula bar, ladies and gentlemen, it displays the content of the current active cell. It displays the content of the current active cell. From the formula bar, you can also be able to edit the content of your cell. You can be able to edit formulas, edit functions, and many other functionalities that you may want to do. Look at this. For example, my current active cell is cell G5. The formula bar doesn't display anything. It is blank. Let's say I come here and type, Iman. I type Iman in my current active cell. So look, my formula bar now displays Iman. If I move here, it is blank. This is cell I5, which I haven't keyed in any information. So my formula bar is blank. Now, what if I come here and type Kui? It displays Kui here at my formula bar. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have said clearly, the formula bar displays the content of the current active cell. And it is from the formula bar that you can be able to edit the content of your cell. We'll see that in a few. Below that is now the spreadsheet itself. Now, Microsoft Excel comes in the form of a spreadsheet. What do I mean by spreadsheet? A spreadsheet is basically something that is subdivided into multiple tables or multiple columns and rows. Of course, that makes up what we call the cells. Excel has got multiple cells, it has got multiple rows and multiple columns that you can never finish working with. And I think we have got about 1.5 is it 2 million? About 2 million rows. We have about 2 million rows and some like about 700,000 columns in Microsoft Excel. So you can never finish working with that. Now, below this now is the spreadsheet itself that we are talking about. And you can see the spreadsheet, we have got columns. The spreadsheet is made up of columns and rows. Columns are represented by the alphabetical letters, right? We don't have alphabetical numbers, we have alphabetical letters. So the columns here are represented by the alphabetical letters, whereas the rows are represented by numerics. These are what I'm talking about. These are column, right? These are column, 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 and all that. So those are what? Those are columns. So we have column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F, all that as you go further. So there are so many, right? There are so many. If you continue clicking, there are so many, right? There are so many. You cannot get to the end, okay? There are so many. can't get to the end. There are so many. And then we have the rows, which I said are represented by numerics. So we have row 1, row 2, have row 2 here, maybe row 9, we have row 10. So rows are represented by what? Rows are represented by the numerical numbers. Rows are represented by what? By numerics. Now, the intersection point between a column and a row is what we are calling as what? A cell. The intersection point between a column and a row is what we are calling as a cell. So now that tells you that a cell is basically the intersection point between what? Between a column and a row. A cell is the intersection point between a column and a row. That is what we call as a cell. Look at this. Look at this. We have maybe let me use column B. I have column B here. So that's column B, right? And then I have row 5. So column B and row 5, where do they intersect? They intersect at this point. Column B and row 5 intersect at this point. Let me just zoom this, or I just enlarge this. Let me just enlarge this. So here I have the intersection point between column B and row 5. This is what we call as a cell. So how do we name this cell? We name this cell using the column title followed by what? By the row title. What is the column title? The columns we said are represented by alphabetical letters, whereas the rows are represented by numerical numbers. So then it means that this cell here at the intersection point between column B and row 5, we name it using the column name followed by the row name, and therefore this will be cell B5. This will be cell B5. It is at the intersection point between column B and row 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be 5B. It is only B5. Suppose I move on here. Now I have column F, and then I have row 10. I have column F, then I have row 10. I have column F and I have what? Row 10. I have column F and I have row 10. I have column F and I have row 10. I have column F and I have what here? I have row 10. So where are they intersecting? They are intersecting at this point here. This is where the two are meeting. So this point here, this is what we call a cell. And what is the name of this cell? Somebody to give me the name of this cell. How will we name this cell?
F10.
Great. Cell F10. It is at the intersection point between column F and row 10. So then it becomes cell F10. And that is how we name cells. That is how we name cells. That is how we name cells. I believe that is clear. I believe that is clear. I believe that is very, very clear. I believe that is very, very clear. I believe that is clear. Now, from there now, so we have known what a cell is. What about if we have a collection of many cells? Like for instance, let's say I have this, right? I have this. This is now a collection of what? It's now a collection of many cells, okay? This is now a collection of many cells. Right, let me just remove this color because it's right. Let me just use that fill. Let me use the other one. I don't know why I like yellow, I don't mean that I support it, but I don't know why I like yellow in Microsoft Excel. All right, now this is now a collection of what? A collection of multiple cells. So now, ladies and gentlemen, where you have a collection of multiple cells, we refer to this as a range. We refer to this as a range, or in other words, call it an array. A range or array. Range or array. Tomorrow you will meet these as we proceed with our analysis. So just know that if you are told about a range, then that is now a collection of what? A collection of multiple cells. It is a collection of multiple cells. So how do we name our range? How do we name our range? How do we name our range? So we name a range. We name a range using the name of the top leftmost cell. We name a range using the name of the top leftmost cell, followed by the name of the bottom rightmost cell. The name of the top leftmost cell, followed by the name of the bottom rightmost cell. What is the name of the top leftmost cell here? The name of the top leftmost cell in this range is cell B2 here. Let me just type in here, B2. That is the name of the top leftmost cell. Then the name of the bottom rightmost cell in this range is here, cell E17. E17. So that is what we have for this particular range here. So how will we name this range now? We will name this range as B2 through E17. B2 through E17. B2 through E17. That is how we name a range. And then in Microsoft Excel, then we will use the colon sign to denote through. So what will it be like? It will look like this, right? So we'll have B2 colon B2 colon E17. B2 colon E17. B2 colon E17. B2 colon E17. This one here. So this will now denote the name of this range. So this range is B2 through E17. Let me just clear this. All right. Now, Microsoft Excel, you can always have as many sheets as possible. You can always have as many sheets as possible. A sheet in Microsoft Excel is more of a page, okay? A sheet in Microsoft Excel is more of a page. So down here, if you come down here and then you click on this plus sign, Microsoft Excel automatically adds sheets. It automatically adds sheets and then it automatically renames them for you. So if the first one was sheet 1, you come and click on the add sign, it renames it to sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. You continue to click, it renames it as sheet 5 in that order. So we'll see about sheets as we continue. We will see about sheets as we continue. We'll see about sheets as we continue. Great. And that is the Microsoft Excel interface. So you've just learned the first step of getting to understand Microsoft Excel interface. The next step that we now want to do is how do you navigate through your Microsoft Excel interface? How do you navigate through your Microsoft Excel interface? Now, we are going to do this practically. So be with me. Now, I want you to be at cell B5. Go and click on cell B5. Go and click on cell B5, B for boy. Go and click on cell B5, B for boy. Be at cell B5, be at cell B5, B for boy. Be at cell B5, B for boy. Now, I want somebody to show me how can I navigate to cell C5. I'm now at cell B5. So how can I navigate to cell C5 without using my mouse? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. If you want to be a good data analyst, then you must learn the concept of mastering keyboard shortcuts. You need to master keyboard shortcuts if you want to be a good data analyst. One of the characteristics of data analysts is that they like shortcuts. So you need to master very well Microsoft Excel keyboard shortcuts. Data analysts are lazy, by the way. So if you find yourself maybe being lazy, then you are in the right track, okay? You are in the right track. So don't start asking yourself, I'm too lazy. This thing seems to be too complicated. So how will I be able to navigate through this? No, relax. That's your nature. Now, somebody should tell me, I want to navigate to cell C5. What should I do? Without using your mouse, use your keyboard. So what should I do for me to get to cell C5? What should I do for me to get to cell C5? Somebody? I'm at cell B5 and I want to navigate to cell C5. What should I do? Yes, Emmanuel.
I think from your keyboard
Yes.
on the bottom right corner,
Great.
you can see an arrow that it indicates or it's equal to a greater equal sign.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can use that.
Great. So I click on this. Great. That takes me to the next cell. It took me to cell C5. What if I want to navigate to cell D5? I once again click on that arrow and it takes me there. Now, your keyboard is subdivided into different parts. If you look at your keyboard is subdivided. You have the function part of your keyboard. You have the number keyboard. You have got the arrow keyboard. And then, of course, you have got the remaining part of your keyboard. The function part is where we have the F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, all the way to F6. All those things, ladies and gentlemen, they have got different functions that they perform. And that is your first assignment. Go and do research on what the F1s, F2, F3, F4, all the way to F12 part of your keyboard do. Below that, we have the number keyboard, where you have 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. We have the arrow keyboard, where you have your arrow pointing up, your arrow pointing down, the arrow pointing left, and the arrow pointing to the right. Then, of course, we have the remaining part of what? The remaining part of your keyboard. Now, Emmanuel tells us that if I want to navigate a cell to the right, okay? If I want to navigate a cell to the right, then I will use my what? I will use my arrow keyboard. And what will I use here? I will use the arrow pointing to the right. Great. That is the first way to navigate through. Who knows the other way in which I can be able to navigate? So right now I am at cell D5 and I want to navigate to cell E5. What should I do? Suppose I don't use the arrow keyboard. What should I do? Anybody? Yes, Cyrus?
You can use the tab function, tab key, sorry.
Great. I use the tab key. So if I click on tab, it takes me one cell to the right. Once again, I click on tab, it takes me to cell F5. I click on tab, it takes me to cell G5. Tab, tab, tab. It takes me one cell to the right. Great. So now to move one cell to the right, we are in agreement that without using your mouse, you can quickly use your arrow keyboard by clicking on the arrow pointing to the right, or use your tab keyboard. Now, I'm at cell J5. I want to move back to cell I5. That means I want to move one cell to the left. What should I do? I want to move one cell to the left. What should I do? Cyrus?
You press Shift and Tab.
Great. I'm gonna use Shift, Tab. Shift, Tab. So you press on Shift and hold on, right? Press on Shift and hold on, and then you go and press on what? Tab. That takes you one cell to the left. Alternatively, if you used your keyboard arrow and use the arrow pointing to the right to take you one cell to the right, then it means if you want to move one cell to the left, you are going to click on your arrow pointing to the left, and that will take you one cell to the left. Now, I'm at cell A5. I want to move to cell A6. That means I am moving one cell down. I am moving one cell down. Without using my keyboard, what should I do? If I want to move one cell down, I'm currently at cell A5 and I want to move to cell A6. How will I navigate through?
I think you can still use the arrow keyboard, the one pointing downwards.
Yes, I will still use my arrow keyboard, and this time round I will use the page down arrow. That is the arrow pointing down. So I click on my arrow pointing down and it takes me one cell down. It takes me one cell down. Alternatively, what else can I use? If I don't use my arrow keyboard, what else can I use? What else can I use if I don't use my arrow keyboard? Is there anyone with an idea? Anyone here with an idea? Anyone with an idea? No worries. Sawa. Yes, Cyrus.
You press enter. You
Great.
click on enter.
Great. I'm gonna use what? Enter. So if I press on enter, it takes me one cell down. If I want to move back, the arrow pointing up, or shift, enter. Shift, enter. The other keyboard shortcuts, ladies and gentlemen, we will learn about them as we proceed. We will know a lot of them. There are really lots of keyboard shortcuts. And by the way, I will share with you those keyboard shortcuts. Make sure that you go through them and you understand what each of them does. For ease of your working, for ease of your data analytics, I will really want you to understand keyboard shortcuts. I will really want you to understand keyboard shortcuts. Great. Now, the remaining work now we will learn as we proceed. We will now learn the remaining work as we proceed. Now let's get into our work. Let's get into our work. So we are just starting right away. Data analytics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed further into data analytics, I'd like us to use some common example that almost each and every Excel teacher uses to introduce Microsoft Excel before we proceed further. What is this data that I want us to use? I will want you to make an assumption here, ladies and gentlemen, that you are what? You are a school teacher. And in this instance here, maybe you are a class teacher. So you are a class teacher. We are just at the end term. Your students have done their examination. The results are out. The marking is done. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to prepare a report. You are supposed to have your students' course keyed in. That is after you have finished your marking process. You're supposed to give your students their positions. You're supposed to know who is moving on to the next class, who is repeating the class, and many other information that you may want to analyze from this. Now, this is what we are going to do. Move with me, move with me, move with me. But before we move on to this, sorry for the interruption, before we move on to this, I just realized something. And I told you that you can always customize your quick access toolbar. Let's first of all learn about that before we proceed into the other one. So how do you, number one, customize your quick access toolbar, and how do you customize your tabs? If you look at my quick access toolbar, perhaps there's something here that is not available in your quick access toolbar. And what I have available here in my quick access toolbar, this is a macro that I recorded. I was able to bring this macro here into my quick access toolbar. It is easier for me to analyze the data that I normally use. When I receive that data, I only need to come and click on my macro here, and it performs for me everything. Now, how do you how do you customize your quick access toolbar? So move with me. Move to your quick access toolbar. Move to your quick access toolbar. And then beside the redo command, there is this something like a drop down here. There's something here like a drop down. I hope you are able to see where my cursor is. I hope you are able to see where my cursor is. There's this drop down here. If you place your mouse there, it displays for you a message. Customize quick access toolbar. Customize quick access toolbar. I just want you to click on that. Click on that. And if you click on it, you have got this information available here. So what we want to do, we want to customize our quick access toolbar. We want to customize our quick access toolbar. So what do you do here? Go to what? More commands. Go and click on more commands. Go and click on more commands down here. Click on what? More commands. Please, 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 if you are not with me, please let me know before we proceed to the next step. So if you know that maybe we are not together up to where I am, let me know before we proceed to the next step. Yes, Emmanuel, where are you?
I'm not with you. I've got lost. The one you are saying we click so that we can have the drop icons.
Great. You are able to track your quick access toolbar? You know where it is up here?
From my side,
Yes.
I can only see the toolbar, the files, the home, the insert, the page layout. Below it, I have the save function, redo function.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yours is now just below your tabs. It's just when I do this, when I come here, then I say show below the ribbon. So it's here.
Yeah.
Great. So don't worry about that. Just come and click on this. This is what I mean. Come and click on this. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Great. Click on it. And then go and say more commands. You can see more commands?
Yes.
Great. Click on more commands. Click on more commands. Click on more commands. And once you click on more commands, this window will pop up. And in this window here, this pen to the far right, the pen to the far right shows your commands that are currently available in your quick access toolbar. And you can see mine here. I have the save, the undo, the redo, and then the highlight new cells, which is actually the name that I gave to my macro. To the left is now a list of commands. So let's say, for example, let me just give an example. So let's say, for example, you frequently use the cat command, okay? You frequently use the cat command, and you'd want to place it in your quick access toolbar. So what do you do here? You come and click on cat. That is on the pane to the left. Just come and click on cat. Then once you click on it, this other side you have the option add. So click on add. And you see, cat has now been taken to your quick access toolbar. Let's say, for instance, you want to have copy. So you click on copy, click on add, and it moves to your quick access toolbar. To save that change, just come down here and click OK. Just come down here and click OK. So I'm gonna click OK. So now look at my quick access toolbar now. Look at my quick access toolbar. I now have the file, I have the undo, the redo, my macro, the cut, and then copy commands. Those are now what I have in my in my quick access toolbar. What if I want to remove them? I just want to have the original commands that I had. Once again, I will come here. I move on to customize. I move on to customize quick access toolbar. Then I go to what? More commands. Then from here, I want to remove cut and copy. So I will come here. I click on cut. Then here I say remove. I click on cut. Then here I say what? Remove. I click on copy. Down here I say remove. And now that is what I have in my quick access toolbar. So once again here I will come and do what? I will come and click OK. So my quick access toolbar is restored to the position in which it was before. Are we together up to that point? Right, thank you, Emmanuel. Are we together up to that point? Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Michelle. All right, so then we can proceed. That is how you customize your quick access toolbar. So you can place your quick access toolbar either below your tabs, or you can do what? You can place it above your tabs like that. So when you come and click on this drop down here, you have this option, show below the ribbon. Just click on it, and if it will come down here. And if you want to bring it back, come and click on the drop down. Then below here you have show above the ribbon. It will go up. Now, how do you customize your ribbons? That is your tabs. How do you customize your tabs? If you want to customize your tabs, go and click on your file tab. Click on file. Go and click on file. Click on file. Click on file. Click on file. After you click on file, depending on your Microsoft Excel version that you are using, if you navigate down, you will either have more or you will have options. So either, if you have options, please click on options. If you have more, click on more, then proceed further to click on options. And that brings you here. That brings you here. That brings you here. So what do we want to do? We want to customize our ribbon. So you come here and say customize ribbon. Come here and click on what? Customize ribbon. I hope you are able to see that clearly. So I'm going to click on customize ribbon. Right? When I click on customize ribbon, ladies and gentlemen, from the pen to the left, I have two pens here once again. I have this pen here on the right and my pen to the left. So my pen to the left shows all my commands that I have. And here, my pen to the right here shows what? It shows the commands that are currently active. So let's say, for instance, I just want to remove maybe my help tab. Maybe it's not important to me. I want to remove it. I want to remove maybe the QuickBooks. I also want to remove view. Let me leave the QuickBooks. So I also want to remove the view maybe and the review. So notice what I'm doing. I am unchecking that box. The box that is ticked, that is what I am unchecking. So I have unchecked review, I have unchecked view and the help. Remember, these are the tabs that are currently active on your ribbon. So if you uncheck them, it means that you are removing them from your ribbon. So once I have done that, ladies and gentlemen, I will come here and click OK. Once I click OK, I want you to notice something from my ribbons. Notice something from my tabs. I now don't have the help tab. I don't have the view tab. I don't have the review tab. It is because I have removed them. Probably they're just filling in my space and I don't use them for my analysis, or I don't use them for my work. So there's no need to have them here. I'll simply remove them. If you want to bring them back, don't tense. Move back to File. Go to More or Options if you have that. Then you navigate through to Options and then go to Customize Ribbon. Then from here now, maybe if you want to bring them back, maybe say for instance I want to bring back the Review and the View tab. I will just check on that box, Review and View. I just click on that box. Then once I'm done, I click OK. And now, if you check here, I have View and I have Review. Confirm that you are with me up to that point. Thank you, Emmanuel. Someone else who is with me, confirm that you are with me up to that point. Confirm that we are together up to that point. Thank you, Bathsheba. Thank you, Kui. Nila, your hand is raised. You may proceed.
Okay, there was this, you see at the top left here, the one we had something dropping down, a drop down icon. What was it customizing? Yeah. What were you using it to customize?
To customize your quick access toolbar.
Oh, it was okay. Thank you.
I didn't get your question. I'm not sure if you answered.
Okay, right now we were customizing the ribbons, so I wanted to know what we were doing previously.
Oh, previously we were only customizing our quick access toolbar. Remember, the quick access toolbar is a separate tool from our ribbon. So it is above the ribbon. I said you can either place it above the ribbon, like the way mine is right now, or you can place it below the ribbon. So in the first instance, we first of all customized our quick access toolbar. Remember, the quick access toolbar, I said, contains those commands that you use frequently in Microsoft Excel. Suppose you know that in most instances you use copy, and therefore you'd not want to look for copy moving on through your ribbons to look for copy. You want to put it in your quick access toolbar. Then you will simply pin it at your quick access toolbar. So in the first case, we customized our quick access toolbar. Then in the second case now, we now customized our ribbon. Is that clear?
It's clear. Thank you.
Great, karibu. Somebody had a question. Let me just walk through the chat box. Let me walk through the chat box. Iman lost his network and he didn't see how to customize the ribbon. All right. So Iman, to customize the ribbon, just move to File, to customize your ribbon, move to File, and then from File, go to More. Or from your side, maybe you may see Options. So either Options or More. So if you have More, you click on More, you proceed to click on Options. And then from here, move to what? Customize ribbon. From here, move further to what? Customize ribbon. Customize ribbon. Customize ribbon. Then these pens will pop up here. That is the pen to the left and the pen to the right. From this pen to the right here, you choose on what you want to do here. Say for instance, maybe I just want to undo with my developer tab. So I will just uncheck on it. If I want to undo maybe my view tab, I will just uncheck on it. So once I'm done, I will click OK. And now if you check here, I don't have my developer tab, and as well I don't have what? I don't have my view tab. So that is how you customize your ribbon. If you want to bring them back, you'll just follow the same process, but now you will go and check on those particular boxes. Any other question regarding that? Great. Now, let's proceed. And we are going to give here our first example that is going to give us a quick overview of data analytics and a quick overview of how we are going to introduce and use some Microsoft Excel functions. Ladies and gentlemen, Microsoft Excel has got a couple of functions that you can use to easily do your work. You don't need to cram how to calculate the mean. No. You don't need to do that here. You don't need to cram how to calculate maybe something like NPV. Don't worry about that. That's out of date. So we have Microsoft Excel here that can help us to easily perform such tasks. So what am I going to do here? Let's first of all prepare a very simple data set here that we are going to use to introduce Excel functions. Great. Now, at cell A1, be at cell A1, move with me please, move with me. So I gave an example that we want to use, and that is what we want to do right now. The example that I gave, I say that you are a class teacher, ladies and gentlemen, and it is just end term. Your students have done the examinations and they need to go home. So they need to know their report. Maybe for those who are repeating their classes, they need to know that early. You need to give rankings to your students so that they know who is position 1, position 2, all the way to that. So let's just see a sample data, right? Let's just see a sample data. Now this one we are going to create it together. We are going to create this together. So at cell A1, just type number. At cell A1, type number, NO. Just type number, NO. Don't worry about that. It is more of the student ID. We are going to use it more as the student ID. And then click on tab to navigate to cell B1. Please remember the keyboard shortcuts. I don't expect you to start looking for your mouse. If you want to move to cell B1, just click on tab, or you click on what? The arrow pointing to the right. Now, from here, I will have my student first name. First name. First name. So type that in cell B1, first name. Cell B1, type first name. I move on to cell C1, I will have last name. I will have here last name. At cell C1, have last name. At cell C1, last name. At cell C1, last name. Right? Then at cell D1, maybe we can have gender. Gender. At cell D1, have gender. At cell D1, have gender. Have gender at cell D1. 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 D1 have gender. Gender. And then now from cell E1, now here I want us to have maybe maybe 5 subjects. So the first one here I will have maybe English. You can just type ENG to denote English. I move on to Kiswahili. You know, I'm starting with the subjects that I liked. That's why you are seeing me putting it in that order, right? I have Kiswahili, maths. I move further to which else did I like after maths? It seems these are my subjects, right? I liked chemistry, so I am gonna type here chem. I'm gonna type here chem. I have biology. Let me just type bio, and then I can see here I have Iman, I have Abdi Razik, I have Emmanuel, I have Nila. So I'm ignoring CRE. I'm ignoring CRE because I know Iman may be using IRE. Right? So let me ignore the CRE. So I have English, Kiswahili, maths, chemistry, biology. I don't know if there's any subject that I'm leaving. Alright. I liked physics sometimes back, but then I just dropped that, right? I liked physics sometimes back, but then I just dropped that. Now let's work with this. Let's work with this data set here that we have. Let's work with this. So are we together up to this point? Who has not finished typing? One of the skills that I want you to have is typing skills. One of the skills that I want you to have is typing skills. Please, please, please. It's only that I'm not seeing you. I wish I could see you. I don't expect to find anybody typing using one hand. I don't expect to find anybody typing using one hand. If you want to be a good typist, use both of your hands. Have both of your hands on your keyboard. And number 2, don't focus on your screen. Focus on your keyboard when you're typing. Remember, this is a computer. So, if you type T on your keyboard, your screen will only display to you T. You cannot type T and then your screen displays to you Emmanuel. No. It only displays to you T. So, if you're typing, number 1, use both of your hands, and number 2, focus on your keyboard rather than your screen. That will help you to type faster. Are we all here? I want us to proceed. Who has not reached this point? Who has not reached this point? Who has not reached to this point? Who is not with us? Who is not with us? Great. So we proceed on to the next step. Now, I want us to give our students numbers. So I said these are going to be like what? Our student IDs. So yeah, let's just have a random list. Let's have a list of what? A list of 10 students. So here, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then finally 10. So have 1 all the way to 10. Have 1 all the way to 10. Now, let me ask you a question. Suppose you have a class that has up to 1,000 students, right? And you want to have this list 1 all the way to 1,000. So will you go typing 1, 2, you move on to 11, 12, 13, and all that until you get to 1,000? No. Let me teach you something here. Look at this. Let me teach you something here. So I just want you to delete all that you have written. Delete, not everything. Delete only the numbers. If you have written 1 to 10, just delete that. Delete the 1 to 10 that you have written. Delete your 1 to 10 that you have written. And let me show you a trick here. So now do this. Come to cell A2. Come to cell A2 and type 1. Just come to cell A2 and type 1. Come to cell A2 and type 1. Come to cell A2 and type 1. So once you have done that, I want you to move with me, please. I want you to move with me. Once you have typed 1 at cell A1, then do this. Look at that. Make sure that cell A, sorry, not A2, but not A1, but A2. Make sure that cell A2 is the current active cell. And if you look at cell A2, it is surrounded by some green line. To the bottom right of cell A2, kuna kitu hapo inakaa ka box kadogo sana. Inakaa ka joint hapo. To the bottom right. Aka. I hope you can see this, Aka. If you place your cursor here, it turns into that plus sign. Look at this plus sign that I have. I have this white plus sign, okay? And if you place it there, it turns into that black sign. Ladies and gentlemen, I call that the black rabbit. That black rabbit is very, very dangerous. So we have got the white rabbit and we have the black rabbit. So I want you to have the black rabbit. I want you to have the black rabbit. That black rabbit is very dangerous. I'm going to show you in a few why it is very, very dangerous. I'm going to show you why it is very dangerous. So once you have placed your cursor there and you have your black rabbit, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to right click on your mouse and hold on. Please note, I have said you right click. Now, if you have your mouse, you click to the left side, that is just clicking. It's normally left clicking, but mostly we just say clicking. If you click on the side of your mouse that is to the right, we say that is now right clicking. So this is what I want you to do. Right click and hold on. In other words, click to the right na ushikilie. I hope umefanya hiyo. You notice that the plus sign changes to your normal pointer position. So this is what I want you to do. I just want you to drag your cursor down. Just drag down to anywhere tu, alafu urudi juu. Hapo mahali ulianzia. Umeona kitu nimefanya? Drag down, alafu urudi juu mahali ulianzia hapo, alafu uachilie. You should be able to have this. You should be able to have this. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Now you are here. Place your cursor here at the bottom right. Here. Until you have the black rabbit. Ladies and gentlemen, master the black angry rabbit. Master the black angry rabbit. So once you are there, right click on your mouse and hold on. You right click and hold on. You notice the cursor position changes. Once it is there, drag it down. You can go all the way to cell A13, you can go to cell A3, you can go to cell A50, anywhere that you want to go. Just drag it down. Usiwachilie hiyo ku right click and then you go back. Hapo. Na unawachilia hivyo. You have these options. Nani ana hizi options? Who doesn't have these options? Copy cells, fill series, file formatting only, file without formatting, flash fill and series. Who doesn't have that? Let me know. Who doesn't have that? Who doesn't have that? Great. Now once you have that, go to this place written fill series. So click on fill series. Click on fill series. Click on fill series. Mine decided to disappear. Let me just redo the process. Okay. Right, I guess mine doesn't need to use the fill series, so I'm going to use the series option here. I'm going to use the series option below here. So if yours also behaves the same way, use the series option, okay? If yours also behaves the same way, use the series option. So go and click on series. 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 So if you click on series, if you click on series, if you click on series, you click on series, that brings you to this point. So this dialog box here pops up. And the first option that you are asked, series in. So how do you want to fill in your series? Do you want to fill them in rows or do you want to fill them in what? In columns. If you look right now, we want to fill our series in what? In columns. So I'm going to choose on columns. Then I move down here. I have the step value and the stop value. The step value, I just want to fill in some series. So where do I want to start? I want to start from 1. Suppose you want to start from 10, you just key in 10 here. So my step value here is 1. And what is my stop value? This is what I was telling you. Suppose you have got 1,000 students. So it means that your stop value here will be 1,000. Just type 1,000. just type 1000 under your stop value. You just type 1000. Then once you are done, click OK. Watch what happened. Just look at what happened. Microsoft Excel automatically generated the numbers for you. So this is what I want you to do. Let's learn another keyboard shortcut here. So I'm currently at cell A2 where I have 1. So I want to move down to the last cell that has data in this, my Excel sheet. Somebody to show me, what will I do? I just want to know, maybe this sheet is so large. So I just want to know the sheet to the very bottom that contains the last data set in this particular series. What should I do? What should I do? Using my keyboard. So if I navigate through using my mouse, I will have to navigate through like this, all the way to 1000. That seems to be quite tedious. So somebody to teach me, somebody to teach Mwalimu here. What should I do? Yes, Emmanuel.
I think from your keyboard,
Yes.
you can use the page down function.
So I click on page down.
Yeah.
Right. I press on page down. It took me to page 22. It took me to number 22.
You do it several times.
Yes, several times, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you notice that this is now moving me 20 steps down, okay? This moving me 20 steps down. That seems to be tedious. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that. But that seems to be still tedious for me. How do I just move on at once? From here, from 1 to number 1000. How do I just go to number 1000 directly? Without kupitia hizo vaya zenye nimepitia. How do I just go directly? Yes, Cyrus.
You go to the name box and then you type A 1001.
I go to name box and then I type.
Is it the name box? The one written A2 on your
All right, here.
screen.
Sorry. Then what do I do?
And then you click there. You click on A2, and then you edit it.
It's not clicking. Maybe let me edit let me exit the edit mode first. So what do I do?
There.
A.
And then you clear that. You write A 1001.
A 1001. Is that how we write 1001? Okay.
Yeah, and then you click enter.
Right. So that takes me to the far end.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Cyrus. But now look at this scenario. In this particular data set, you knew that it is going all the way to 1000. What of a scenario where you don't know where the data set is ending? You don't know where it is ending. Okay? In this case, you know it is ending at 1000. That is why you went there and typed A 1001. What about in the scenario where you don't know where your data set is ending? What will I do here? Is there somebody who can teach Mwalimu here? What will I do here? Anyone to show Mwalimu what will I do here? So let me just move back. Now, I'm here, right? I'm here at cell A2. So be there. Be at cell A2. Let me show you something right now. Be at cell A2. Be at cell A2. Now, from your keyboard, can you see control from your keyboard? CTRL, control. Control. So press on control and hold on. Press on control and hold on. Press on control and hold on. Alafu, finya hiyo arrow pointing down. Mara moja tu. The arrow pointing down. So look at that. It was able to take me to the last point of my data set. That is 1000. Very easy. Alright? Very easy. Control and then down. Control, then arrow pointing down. Control and then arrow pointing down. If I want to move back, control, the arrow pointing up. Control and then the arrow pointing up. Very easy to navigate. All right, now I want you to navigate, I want to delete all these one up to 1000 so that we only have our one up to 10 that we wanted. So look at this. I want you to delete one all the way to what? One all the way to 1000. So that means that it is in this particular column here. So I don't want you to delete number. I only want you to start deleting from 1 up to 1000. So that means I need to highlight the content of this column that is starting from 1 up to 1000. Somebody should show me Because if I come here, well, I know I could use my mouse and do this. I am a data analyst and this is really tedious for me. This is so tedious for me. I'm seeing like I'm wasting a lot of time. So somebody should show Mwalimu here. How can I highlight all these cells without going through that process? How can I highlight all these cells without going through this process? So I want to highlight 1 all the way to 1,000. What should I do? What should I do? If I want to highlight those, what should I do? What should I do in this case? What should I do here? Is there anybody who can show Mwalimu something? Yes, Emmanuel, proceed.
I think based on this, the way we named the cells,
Yeah.
we said we have column A, B, and C.
Uh-huh.
So if I want to clear the contents of column A,
Yes.
I just simply click where A is
I come
indicated.
and click on A.
Yeah,
And then
I would have like highlighted everything.
I've highlighted everything, right? But remember,
Yeah.
this action that I've just done here, if I continue to press on delete, look at what happens. It deletes everything from there, right? But I didn't want to delete my number, okay? I didn't want to delete the number. I just want to delete starting from 1 all the way to 1,000. So I want to highlight from 1. Suppose maybe, for example, I want to highlight even from 10 up to 1,000 only. I want to leave the upper values. So what should I do? Is there anyone with an idea here? Is there anybody with that idea? What should I do? Yes, Cyrus.
I think that you can go back to the name box,
Right?
and then you just type in A2 and then full colon, and then the last, I think
that
it's
is
1,001.
1,001, eh?
1,001. Yeah.
Right? So that highlights everything. That highlights everything. Great. Thank you, Cyrus. That's okay. But once again, that is in the scenario where you know where your data set is ending. Suppose in this case here, we don't know where our data set is ending. So this is what you do. This is what you do. The one for Cyrus works, but you need to know where your data set is doing what? Is ending. But what if you don't know? This is what I want you to do. Come here and click on cell A1 where you have 1. Sorry, not A1 but A2. Click on cell A2 where you have your value 1. Then from your keyboard, hold on Control, hold on Control, hold on Shift, hold on Control and Shift, alafu, the arrow pointing down, click on it once. Control, Shift, and then the arrow pointing down, click on it once. That should be able to highlight everything for you. That should be able to highlight everything for you. That should be able to highlight everything for you. Now, suppose I only want to delete from number 10, okay? So if I press on delete, that will delete everything. I'm only pressing on delete from my keyboard, okay? So that deletes everything. Now, suppose I only wanted to delete from where? From number 10, okay? So I will come here, click on number 10, Control Shift, page down, hold on, number 10, Control Shift, page down. That highlights everything from number 10 all the way downwards. So I once again press on delete, and you now notice that I have 1 up to 9. But I just for practice, I just want you to delete that, and then do what? Repeat the procedure that we did so that you fill in wise. If you click on rows, then it's going to fill it for you row wise, okay? So it's only going to be in row 2 filled to the right. So you need to check on what? Columns. And then your step value is where you would want to start filling from. If you wanted to start filling from 1,000, you will select 1,000. And then your stop value, where do you want to end? I want to end at 10. So I type there 10, then I do what? I click OK. That fills it automatically for me. But let me show you yet another way to do that. So I will just come here and delete what I have. Control Shift page down arrow. Then I delete. The other way to do that is to first of all key in your start series, okay? So you want to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to number 10. So first of all, I will type 1. I move to the next cell, I type 2. So I have just instructed Excel on the start series to use. Once I have done that, I will come here and highlight my start series. That is 1 and 2. I will come and highlight my start series 1 and 2. Then from there, I will now move back to the same black angry rabbit. I will move back to the same black angry rabbit. Then what do? I autofill downwards. Okay, I autofill downwards. So right now, I will not right click on my mouse, but rather I will simply click on or left click. So I left click, then I drag it downwards all the way to where I will have 10. So it's at that point I leave it there. And that's okay. So that is what you ought to do. That is what you ought to do. Now, let's proceed to fill in the information. So for the first names, just key in any random names. Just key in any random names. Key in any random names. Just key in any random names. I'm poor at parsing names, so I'm just gonna use your names here. So here I have Cyrus, Abdirizak. All right, Abdirizak here. I have Walter. Next here I have Bathsheba. Who is this now? This Nila. I have Kui. Who is my next person here? I can't see people. Okay, so those are the people that I have. I have Emmanuel. What did I type? I have Emmanuel. Here I have Ken. I have Kevin. I have Wycliffe. Yeah, that's enough. So for the last name, please, I'm just going to give you a last name, right? So if I give you a last name that is not yours, you adapt to that character, okay? So Cyrus, you're gonna be Cyrus Mwangi. Abdirizak. Which name can I give you now? I'm gonna be Kamau now. Walter. Otieno. I'm going to have here this Bathsheba Wanjiru. I'm going to have Nila Koech. I have Kui Khan. I remember that Khan driver, and your name is almost similar to that, so I just replace the UI and I give you the AN. Emmanuel Rotich, I guess this is your name. Ken Odongo. Yeah, I'm going to have Kevin Who. I'm out of names. Kevin Osoro. I will have Wycliffe Okech here. Right. So I have all the names. I have my first name and my last name. For the gender, if it is male, just type M. If it is female, just type F. Right? So here I'm gonna have here F and M. So Cyrus, that's a male, F. Yeah, Kui. I don't know if that's a male or a female, but I'm just gonna give you M. Manuel M, Ken M. Alright. Hey, this is my data set. I had somebody here called Iman. Where did Iman go? Let me replace this Kevin with Iman so that at least I have some balance in my gender. So that is now F. Yeah, so I have that. So confirm that you are with me. Confirm that you are with me. Confirm we are together. Great, thank you, Emmanuel. The other persons, are we together? Who is not with us? Nane jamaliza kutype because you're moving on to the next process. Nane jamaliza kutype. Thank you, Bathsheba. I can see your confirmation. Who has not finished typing? Who has not finished typing? Who has not finished typing? Who has not finished? Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Walter. I can see your confirmation. Great. So that means that we can now proceed. That means we can now proceed. Now, thank you, Abdirizak. Now for the scores here, what I want us to do, all right, I know you can easily fill in maybe 40, 49, maybe 06. Oh, who scores 06? Okay, let me just delete that now for that case. So I'm just going to delete that. Then now this is what I want us to do. This is what I want us to do for our scores. This is what I want us to do for our scores. So for the scores here, we are going to use a function to key in our scores. So I just want us to do this very fast, and then we are just going to have any random values for the scores of these different students. So what are we going to do here? We are going to use what we call as random between function. We are going to use what we call as the random between function. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our first function that we are learning in Microsoft Excel. The random between function enables you to generate random values between a specified range. It enables you to generate any random values between a specified range. Let's see how it works. Now, be on the first subject score of your first student. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime you want to use a function in Microsoft Excel, I want you to notice this. Anytime you want to use a function in Microsoft Excel, you must always start with an equal sign. You must always start with an equal sign. Otherwise, Excel will not read that as a function, but it will just read it as a normal input. Now, what am I going to do here? I want to use a function. Great. What is the function that I want to use? I want to use a random between function. So what will I do? I'll simply come here and say equals, and then now I type the name of the function that I want to use. So I'm gonna type equals rand between. Rand. So you will not find random between. Excel denotes it as what? As rand between. So random between is not available, but rather you have what? Rand between. So select on rand between. So how do you make it active? You will just move here and double click on what? On rand between. Move to where you have rand between and double click on it. Move to where you have rand between and double click on it. Or alternatively, if you are here and you know very well that you want to use rand between, so make sure that rand between is in blue just by clicking on it, and then you press on tab from your keyboard like that. Now, these are the instructions that you need to do. The good thing with using functions in Excel, ladies and gentlemen, is that they will always guide you. Each and every function will always guide you on the next step that you need to take. Suppose you want to maybe right now, we are using the rand between function. So what did I say the rand between function is used to do? I said the rand between function is used to generate any random values between a specified range. Now we want to generate the scores. Look at this. The first input that Microsoft Excel requires you to key in for this rand between function is the bottom number. What does that mean? We are generating random values. So in this case, we are generating it for scores. So you are a student that you want to score the lowest marks. How many marks do you want them to score? Let's say, for instance, in my case, I'm going to say 30. Choose for your case. Then I do what? I put a comma. So anytime you are done inputting an input, the next thing that you need to do is to place a comma. So I will put a comma. Then look at this. Once I put the comma, the bold changes from bottom and it moves to top. Let me just remove the comma so that you see that. Look at this. What is currently in bold? What is currently in bold is bottom. And that is how you know what you are supposed to key in currently. Once you are done keying in that, just place a comma. The bold changes to top. And therefore that means that I now need to key in my next input. And what is this? Top. In other words, the highest score that I want to have. My student that I want to have the highest score. How many should they score? Say 90. That is for my case here. So once I'm done, I will simply press enter. And that gives me 80. That gives me 80. That gives me 80. Who is not with me? It is not a must that you receive 80 from your side. Please. These are random between function. So you will get a different value from your side. So long as you have a value, that is okay. Who is not with me? Can we repeat the formula or you are okay? So my question is, can we repeat the formula? Emmanuel is okay. Can we repeat the formula? Walter is okay. Can we repeat the formula?
Repeat.
Great.
Kindly repeat.
Great. Now I'm going to delete what I have there. So I will come back here. I want to generate random values. So I am saying here that we are going to use the rand between function. So just come here and type equal sign and then say rand between. So the moment you type rand, you will see down here rand between. So just click on rand between. Before you double click, I just want you to click on it. Then look at this. Excel gives you directives on what the function does. And what does it do? It returns a random number between the numbers you specify. Look at what Excel is writing for you. Very clear. Returns a random number between the numbers you do what? You specify. Great. Once again, I'm gonna press on tab from my keyboard to make the function active. From there, I will key in what is required. And what is required here? Number one, bottom. So bottom, we said, you are a student that you want to have the lowest score. How many do you want them to have? I used 30 in my example. It's not a must that I use that. I can even use 28. I put a comma. Then I have top. The student that is going to score the highest. How many marks do I want them to score? Let me say 98. So I'm done keying in everything. I will simply say enter. And now you notice it gives me 34. So from here, ladies and gentlemen, what I will do from here, I will simply autofill. That is one of the perfect things with Excel. You don't need to struggle. You don't struggle here. So how do I autofill? Remember the black angry rabbit. Always remember the black angry rabbit. I told you it is very dangerous, okay? It is very dangerous. So come here, have your black angry rabbit. Left click on your mouse and hold on, and then drag it down up to where you have your last student. Ukifika hapo, wachilia. Don't click anywhere. We wachilia tu. While still highlighted, once again, have your black angry rabbit. Once again, you're gonna left click on your mouse, and then now drag it to the right, up to where you have your last subject. Drag it to the right, up to where you have your last subject. Then release your mouse. So that fills for you random values. And now you notice that you have the scores for all your students. You now have the scores for all your students in all the subjects. Who did not get this? I know somebody didn't get this. Who did not get this? 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 Oh, perfect. Everybody got it. So I have a nice class. Perfect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to consume your time. It's now 9:59.
Can you repeat, please? Can you repeat the process, please?
All right, great. The process of autofilling, right?
Yes.
Great. So let me just undo this. I undo again. So I'm here. So this is what you do. Once you are here, make sure this is your current active cell, the cell where you had the formula. Then have your black angry rabbit. 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 Left click on your mouse and hold on. Left click on your mouse and hold on. And then just drag down to your last student. Drag down to your last student. Ukifika hapo, wachilia but don't click anywhere. Wachilia and don't click anywhere. Then from there, once again, come here and have your black angry rabbit. While it is still highlighted, just have your black angry rabbit. Left click and hold on, and then drag it to the last subject. Left click, hold on, drag it to the last subject, alafu wachilie. Namna hiyo. Yes, Abdirizak. Abdi, do you have something?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Great, 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 great. Now, great, great. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, here it is now 10:01. It is now 10:01 p.m. And at that point, I salute, ladies and gentlemen, and we meet in our next session on Monday. Thank you. That is the end. So for those who just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, this is our timetable. This